Do you find using any project information system other than Post-its a tremendous hassle? Having trouble making sure everybody has the tool installed and it's licensed? Is it a pain making sure everybody uses the tool the same way? Once you've got the tool, is it a hassle making sure everybody actually uses it? And until everybody's using the tool correctly, which is almost never, you find yourself looking at a bunch of useless charts and graphs? The students of my course learn to add only as much complexity as needed and nothing more. And they can set up a simple backlog using just Notepad, a series of story titles. They only add more detail when they have to. Is your backlog simply way too big to be manageable? Is your backlog full of things you put in a long time ago and never looked at them again? Are you finding things in your backlog we can't remember who put them there or what they mean? Has your backlog reached the point that nobody can easily keep it all in their head anymore? Are you at the point where you can never reprioritize or resize your backlog like you did when you first started? In my Advanced Backlogs course, you'll learn to manage projects of any complexity using backlogs that are simple and easy to handle. Teams find they can restate the backlog and start completely over, even on projects running a year or more. It only takes about an hour or so. A simple backlog means bringing fun back to team events. Does working on your backlog mean actual work? Work that nobody has time for? Are things so disorganized that you don't work on the backlog until sprint planning? And then it's just a chaotic free-for-all where people try to figure out what the story means at the last minute, or even beyond sprint planning during the sprint? Is your backlog full of junk? Stuff like poorly worded stories, duplicates, stuff that's already been done, but nobody takes the time to go in and fix it? Has it gotten so bad that product owners have even given up? They're not an active participant in backlog refinement anymore? Is it like pulling teeth to get the team to sit down and go through everything in the backlog? Once your team knows it's doing the most efficient organization system possible, they'll know they're only doing the minimum amount of work necessary. Teams that practice Ohio get more done with less work, and they have fun doing it. Teams describe this as the difference between having professional, concise, directed conversations and just random chatting while you fill out forms online. Whenever you make a system for things, do you always overcomplicate things? Is it always in the extremes for you? Either you use Post-its that are too simple for what you need, or you use complex online systems with too much detail you never need, and there's nothing in the middle? At the heart of things, does nobody really understand how the currently designed online system is supposed to work? Are you swimming in tons of detail, but your tools won't let you do something simple like bring a new person up to speed on the history and purpose of your project? When you finish this course, you'll learn how to handle tons of information of any complexity without necessarily having to use any tools. You'll learn how to gather information only once, and then put it where everybody else can use it. Whether or not you choose to use a tool to drive that for you, that's up to you. Have you been trying to organize information so much that there's stuff duplicated all over the place? Are you stuck having access 3 different systems just to close out a story? Do you have a lot of information from this problem was solved last time, but you don't know where to put the information? Are you having to spend hours of time copying information from one system to another just to get reports done? Has it gotten so bad that some teams are keeping 2 sets of books? One set of books for the organization and another for their own work? Teams that learn good information architecture focus only on what they need to do, not on the decisions a tool vendor made. And focusing on the information itself, instead of the details of the tool, opens up tremendous new opportunities for simplification. Teams can own their information flow, just like they own their code, making feeding any tools just part of the DevOps pipeline. We call this InfoOps. Think of all the ways you track information. Put together, did they prevent you from having the end-to-end view that you really need? Are you stuck, having no idea the amount of time it takes between having the business decision and having the feature deployed? On end-to-end reports, are you stuck having to fudge so that the data matches up? Do different tools and departments emphasize different parts of the problem depending on their own silo? Because of the complexity, anytime you have end-to-end questions, to get an answer, do you have to fill a room full of experts? Once your teams realize that their information flow can be handled the same way as everything else in their DevOps pipeline, then you can apply quality controls to everything they deliver just like you would anything else in production. By using a code compile release paradigm, your tech teams can use tools they're already familiar with, like source control or build servers. Just like DevOps means your system's always running with the latest tested code, Information Ops means your system's always reporting current end-to-end valid information. How about this one? Do people keep having important conversations, but the information never gets to where it's supposed to go? Keep delivering the wrong things because the right conversations don't get to the right people? Does your business partner mention things in offhand ways to 1 or 2 people and expect that information to get to everybody else in the team or program? Do outside teams like marketing or infrastructure have critical conversations the team should be part of, but nobody's involved until it's too late? Developing your information architecture and rethinking your information flows means that things only go in a very small number of places. In our course, we'll take dozens of different conversation items. You'll practice being able to file them using Notepad in just seconds. And an open-ended system means your tech teams can plug in the information flow the way they plug data in anything else. batched files, applications, websites, hundreds of different opportunities. Hello, I'm Daniel Markham. Join me for Advanced Backlogs. Learn how to have organization-wide professional conversations and get the most value with the least amount of overhead.